Hi everyone, it's Tara. I am now doing my third Q&A video and I'm really excited about it. And my hair is really wet and weird, I'm sorry. Okay. So I'm just gonna go through my Tumblr inbox on my phone and find the little starred messages. Okay, hold on. And if you hear weird noises, it's Karma. She's like making her little snorting noises. Okie dokie. Okay. The first question I see is, would you brush your hair for a minute on video or do some of your makeup? I want to see your routine. Well, my hair's wet right now and I don't brush it anyways or else it turns massive. And I've already done my makeup. I'm really sorry. So I don't think that I will be doing that. I just wanted to say it because it's there and I'm sorry. Okay, next question. I have trouble staying happy when I'm alone. Do you have any tips on how to be content when you're not dating anyone or seeing friends that much? Yes, I do, because I do it all the time. Like, I used to feel that way too. I would, I'd be by myself, and like, I lived alone, which was kind of hard, and I was just, I'd get bummed out because I didn't have that many friends, and then like, I don't know, I got in like this weird spot when like people would even like ask me to go hang out and I'd just be like, I don't want to, and so like, I don't know. But I think that it's really important to like be your own best friend in those situations and just do fun stuff with yourself. Like, I kind of immersed myself in all of these hobbies and it just really took up a lot of my time and it made me a better human and I guess it's just like a good thing to have a lot of activities and do things by yourself, like go places by yourself, and it's fun. Like, once you get out of that weird, like, oh, I'm alone, like, I need friends, and you just kind of like embrace being by yourself and like enjoying yourself, then it becomes like super awesome, and you're just like, yeah, like, it's kind of weird, but I almost feel like I'm like better at being alone than I am with like being with someone. Like, I just I feel like when I'm with someone, like in a relationship especially, it's kind of like I almost am like seeking their approval on things. Like when I'm by myself, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll change my hair, whatever. But I feel like in a relationship, I'll be like, oh, I want to dye my hair pink or whatever, and they're like, I kind of like base what I do on their reaction to what I'm saying, if that makes sense. So like when I'm by myself, I'm more prone to like get tattoos and like just be fully myself. And so I don't know. I feel like in the right relationship it'd be way less like that. But yeah, so right now, I'm not dating anyone. I like just moved back to Texas, so I'm kind of like getting back in that friend groove. So I'm alone a good amount of the time and I just do things like I go to yoga class and I have hobbies like crocheting, embroidering, hooping, just things that make me happy that I like to do, and I just do them in my spare time when I'm not, out or, just whatever. So I think that it's just really important to find hobbies, go to classes. If you feel really lonely, go to a coffee shop, bring a book. You only have to talk to the barista and then just sit there and be surrounded by people, but you don't have to put out that social effort, or if you want to, you can. Like, you can go to a coffee shop. Sometimes people just talk to you. So it's a good way to kind of put yourself out there, put yourself in a social situation without actually having to talk or having to really put out effort. Okay, anyways, I hope that was helpful. If you could pick one song as the soundtrack of your life, what would it be? What song epitomizes high school, college, etc.? Different songs for different periods in your life. Oh, wow. Okay, this is a really cool question. I almost feel like I want to like take more time to like think about this. But, top of my head, first thing that comes up. Okay, high school. Oh, what did I listen to in high school? I listened to a lot of Neutral Milk Hotel in high school. Like, the first song that I listened to when I drove my car by myself on my 16th birthday, when I was leaving my house in my car alone for the first time, I listened to Airplane Over the Sea. That was the first song I listened to, and I had this like little mix CD that I made special for that car ride, and so maybe that song. I guess when I was 16, probably that song. College, I listened to, I was so into, this one Velvet Underground song, and I listened to it, like, every morning my second semester of college. What is it called? It's, like, the one that's, like, if you close the door. It's, like, really short, too. I always fall in love with these really short songs, and then I just have to play them on repeat for forever. Anyways, I can't remember what that song is called, but probably that one for my second semester of college. I'm just kind of like picking out random moments, and I'm sorry if that's not what you wanted me to do. But, let's see. Right now I just made a new playlist. It's on Spotify. It's called Apple Dumplings if you want to listen to it, and I really like it. But when I was little, Share, Believe. Definitely that one. That was my favorite song when I was little. And the song right now, I don't know. I'm so into freaking Tame Impala's Less I Know the Better. I don't understand what my draw is to that song, because it's just kind of like, I don't know, but I love it and I listen to it all the time. And let's see, the songs that I played on repeat last year were this one really random Sufjan Stevens song. What is it called? Why am I the worst at naming songs? It's like some weird little session that he did, and it's only on YouTube. Like, I can't find it anywhere else. So I found this one website where it would just loop YouTube videos, and I put that song in and just listened to it for forever. Like, I don't even know. But last year I listened to Archie Marry Me. Why can't I remember the band name now? Okay, I'm done with myself. But if you Google Archie Marry Me, the song will come up. I listen to that song a lot. And, oh, the Sufjan Stevens song is called Pleasure Principle. It's really good, and I listen to it, like, forever. And I wish that I had, like, an MP3 of it, because I only get to listen to it on YouTube, and I forget about it a lot, but it's really good. But as for my whole life, that's a big question. I'm gonna have to think about that more. Okay. Which is your fave episode of Friends and why? Okay. That's such a hard question, and I really like the one where I don't even remember what all happens in this episode, but it was just so, like, good. It was just when, like, Phoebe and Monica and Rachel are all in their, like, pajamas, and they made, like, I don't remember if it was, like, margarita or what, but they were drinking some sort of, like, alcoholic smoothie. They were all just, like, sitting around and talking about how they didn't have a plan, and they were like, Phoebe, do you have a, Karma just is gassy. They're like, Phoebe, do you have a plan? And she was like, I don't even have a plot. And I don't know. I just thought that that was very, like, how I felt. So I don't know if that would be my favorite. It's just kind of the one that just came into my head. But I love the one where Rachel gets a hairless cat. I don't know why. I think that was like the first episode of Friends I saw. She like walked in with the cat on the pillow, and I don't know. I thought it was really funny. So yeah, I guess let's go with that. I love all Friends episodes. So please explain your new tattoo on your left shoulder. I don't know if you can see it. This one is new. I got it on the way down when I was moving from Virginia to Texas. I wanted a pansy tattoo for like a really long time, and the reason behind that is because my grandmother's name is Pansy, And she's like the sweetest little human in the whole entire world. And I don't know, I've just wanted a pansy tattoo for forever. So I really wanted to have my friend Kyle do it because I'm in love with his style of tattooing and like he's really cool. And so I wasn't actually planning on driving down from Virginia like that way because you can go two different ways. Like you can go through Arkansas, Tennessee to Texas, or you can go from North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, which sounds a lot longer, but the states are smaller. Tennessee's massive. So I had my friend's vacuum cleaner, and I was like, well, I kind of want to like drop off this vacuum cleaner at my other friend in North Carolina's house, and then I could just like stay there and get a tattoo and whatever. So I decided to do that, and I got the tattoo, and I really, really like it a lot. And so yeah, that's why I got it. Okie dokie, let me find the next one. What are good things to talk about on a first date, please? Okay, well, I really don't like dates. And it's just, like a first date is awkward and it's just a time to get to know someone. So just ask them questions that you'd want to be asked. Like, talk about. I always, like, my go to question is, like, ask about people's dreams because I feel like dreams are such, like, a almost like intimate thing, but it's not, it doesn't seem that way. Like you can ask about someone's dream and they'll just tell you. Like people love to talk about their dreams. And so, I mean, some people don't really dream, but I always ask that question. I'm like, "Oh, like do you dream a lot? Like what do you dream about?" And I just feel like it's like a cool way to get to kind of know someone's mind, but like kind of like the dreamy part of their mind. So I always ask that question, and I guess just, talk about their life and what they like to do and what their favorite foods are. And I feel like it's like a really good, almost like screening process. Like I feel like a good date is to go somewhere and interact with public people and like see how they treat like the waiter and see just how they interact in general with people. And yeah, but I mean, just, dates are weird. Just ask about them, get to know them. And I'm sorry, I don't have more advice. I don't go on that many dates, and if I do go on a date, it's usually like something weird. Like, I don't know, I've been to like abandoned houses on first dates. That sounds really creepy, but it wasn't. I can't explain. Um, can we see you cuddling Karma in a video, please? Hold on. Karma, come here. Come here. Stop. Come here. Ugh. She doesn't really like to be held. This is Karma. She's super snorty, but I don't know if this is really cuddling, but yeah. Okay, be free. What jobs do your sister, mom, and dad have? Okay. I've worked at, like, really weird jobs. Like, the first job I ever had was at a cupcake bakery, and it was so much fun. They would leave me there by myself, and I would make the music choices, and I would just bake and decorate cupcakes and sell cupcakes, and it was so much fun. And then after that, the next job I had was I worked at the J. Crew call center. That was the worst job I've ever had in my whole, well, one of the worst jobs I've ever had in my whole entire life. It was just like me on a phone with a little headset and like on a computer, and people would call in and I would answer and do this awful fake phone voice. I would say, "Thank you for calling J. Crew. This is Tara. How may I help you?" And then they would like either have something to yell at me about or they would want to place an order, and so I'd have to like do all this stuff, and it was just really gross. And it was like in this room with like a million cubicles. Like, why did I do that? I hate talking on the phone. And then after that, I think I worked at another bakery for like 2 seconds. in Lynchburg, and I then worked I was like a hostess at this like hibachi restaurant. My boss hated my hair. Like, she was always telling me my hair was so crazy and I needed to like do something with my hair, and she would yell at me and I like cried in the bathroom, so that didn't last very long. But after that, let's see. I was a nanny after that, yeah. And that was amazing. I did that for like a little over a year, and it was just like me chilling with a little 3-year-old boy, and it was really fun, and I loved it. And then after that, let's see, I moved back to Virginia, and I didn't work the first semester. No, I mean, I taught yoga, but like not at a studio, just like privately. And then I got a job at the yoga studio, so I did that this whole last year. And then like during that though, in the summer, this was the weirdest job of my whole entire life, but I was like a bartender at a hookah bar, and like I'd make hookahs. And then yeah, it was crazy. I was supposed to work at the restaurant part of it, and then my first day they came in and they were like, alright, so you're gonna make hookahs and be the bartender. And I was like, okay. It was awful. And yeah, I think that's all the jobs I've had. Oh, but my sister, she has worked at, well, right now she works at this place called like Fidelity Financial, and then before that she worked at a store called White House Black Market. It's just like a clothing store. And she worked at some weird, like, she had to like go door to door selling some TV thing. She hated that. That didn't last like super long. I think that's all the jobs she's had. And then my mom owns her own cleaning business, so she just like cleans houses. And my dad, I wish I could really explain this to you, but I don't really exactly know exactly what he does. It's something with like phone security stuff. So that's what he does. I don't know his whole list of jobs because it's been a lot, but he works with like phones. Yeah. Okay. What do you make of the trolls that message you on Tumblr? Any insincere messages you get? A lot of the times it's just kind of frustrating because I have a lot of messages and I really truly want to answer them all, and then I get like these random messages, and now I like feel confused about what's real and what's fake sometimes. Like, I'll get a message and it seems really sincere, and then like the next day I'll be like, that probably wasn't real. I don't know. But I mean, it's kind of whatever. It's not like a huge deal. It's just kind of like I have all these messages that I want to sort through, and it makes it harder. But I don't know. It's really not a huge deal. Let's see. Okay. What did you do in Atlanta? Did you have fun? Yes, I did have fun. Atlanta was awesome. It was the craziest couple of days. But okay, so I went to Atlanta because my friend bought me a plane ticket and told me that he was planning this like elaborate surprise for his fiance who I used to live with in Virginia. And so I was like, all right, okay. So I got the plane ticket and I went to Atlanta. And then, like, he gave me this number to call. He was like, all right, here's a number, like, call when you get there. And I was like, okay. So, I had no idea what I was doing or, like, who was there or anything, really. So I got to Atlanta and I texted the number, and I was like, hey, like, I'm in Atlanta, and she was like, okay, I can't get you till 4, and I was like, okay. So I took an Uber to this place called Little 5 Points that, like, a bunch of people on Tumblr messaged me about, and it was really cool. I didn't stay there, like, super long, kind of on accident. Well, anyways, I got there, and not a lot was open. I got there a little early, and so I like went to this little crystal shop that was open, and I looked at all the little rocks, and they had like a lot of cool books about like meditation and like even like Christianity and stuff like that. So I was just reading for a little bit, and then after that I walked down to this little thrift store. It was called like Rags something, Ragorama, I think that's what it's called. So I went into there, and it was like a lot like Buffalo Exchange, and so I ended up buying this like really cool, it was like a western looking shirt with fringe, and after that more stuff was open. So I went to this little vegan restaurant called, it's called like Govinda's, I think that's what it was called. And I got this like vegan chicken quesadilla, and it was so good. I was like, whoa, okay. So I stayed there, and like this woman next to me was like talking to me and stuff. So talked to her for a little bit, and then I was trying to find this super sidewalk thing that my friend told me about, and I got really lost trying to find it, and I ended up like in this suburb area. And I didn't really want to be there. I mean, it was cool, but I was like, I don't really want to like spend my time walking around the suburbs. So I like saw big buildings, so I just started walking towards the big buildings. And that took me to downtown. I guess I walked like a really long way, because I guess like Little 5 Point in downtown is like pretty far. But I walked there, and I got to the city, and then I found this park, and it was just like a little area, and it had these like waterfalls. I think it was called Woodruff Park, and it was really peaceful. So I was kind of cold, so I like picked a spot and just like sat in the sun, and then like people just kept talking to me, and so I was just talking to people, and that was cool. And then I got a text from that number, and they were like, hey, my husband's off work, he can come get you. I was like, okay. So I was just chilling there waiting for some random human to show up and get me. And so I got a phone call from another number, and it was like this guy, and he was like, hey, like, where are you exactly, blah blah blah. So I told him, and then he was like, okay, I'm in a white pickup. So I saw a white pickup, and I just like got in, and I was like, hey, nice to meet you, stranger. And so I mean, he was really cool. His name was Chase. And so we went back to him and his wife's house, and she wasn't home yet, so me and him watched Family Guy for like 3 hours, and then she got home. And okay, so then we were waiting because my friend and his fiance were on the way up from Florida, and so she was like dilly-dallying because she didn't know that there was like gonna be a surprise. And so it was taking forever. And so we were just kind of like hanging out, doing our own thing. And so we went to dinner, and we were going to like have them come in, and I was going to go hide in the bathroom so then I could just like come out and be like, surprise. But so we're at dinner, and then we get this phone call, and they had gotten in a car accident. My friend had fallen asleep while driving. They were 10 minutes away, and so he fell asleep and went across 3 lanes of traffic and then hit a fence. And so it was such a mess, and so we had to leave. We took an Uber there, so we had to get an Uber back to her house, get in her car, drive to where they were. And so then I'm like, I don't know what to do, because this is like such an awkward situation now, because I'm a surprise and she's probably really overwhelmed. And so we parked, and we just walked to them, and so I was like behind them, so like she hugged them first, and then she saw me, and she like hugged me, and then she like kind of like realized that I wasn't supposed to be there, and so she started like freaking out a little bit, and she was like, oh my gosh, like, why is she here, blah 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 blah, and like asking her like fiance Keegan, and like it was just really crazy. But she was like, you know, like, I'm sorry, like, I'm glad you're here, and then she was just like crying, and it was just but it all turned out to be okay. Like, we took them home, we got all their stuff, their car got towed away, and it was just a doozy. And so, like, they're in town from China. Like, they're teaching in China right now, and so they came here to plan their wedding. And so he had flown me in so that we could go wedding dress shopping with her, and it was just such like a nice thing, but then he ended up falling asleep and like just craziness. And so that happened, and let's see. So everything was okay. We like went home, went to sleep, and then the next day we like went wedding dress shopping with Raquel, and it was really fun. I'd never been wedding dress shopping, so that was it was like overwhelming for me, and I wasn't even the one like trying on dresses, but it was really fun. And so that whole day was like crazy because everyone was like, "Oh, free champagne, blah 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 blah, wedding dresses," and so it was just like, man. And so we did that like for a good portion of the day, and then after that we went to dinner with my other friend who lives in Atlanta, and so we went to dinner at a place called Bocados, I think, and they had like this really good vegan quinoa with like a cashew thing, like cashew cream, and it was really good. And then after that we went to some bar called Little Trouble, and they had like really cool lighting. It was just, I guess there's something called Blade Runner, and it's like based off that. I don't know. I think. I'm not positive. And so after that, I heard of this strip club called the Claremont, and I really wanted to go. And earlier in the day, everyone was stoked about it. Everyone was like, yeah, 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 let's go to the Claremont. It'll be awesome. And so all day in my mind, I'm like, yes, I'm so excited to go to the Claremont. So then we're at Little Trouble. It's nearing like 2, no, yeah, it's nearing like 1:30 a.m. I think. And I'm like, all right, guys, like, are we gonna go to the Claremont? Because everyone was kind of, like winding down, and I was, and so they're like, yeah, I don't think so, blah blah blah, and I was like, no, we're going to the Claremont. Like, I've had this on my mind all day. Like, let's go. And everyone was still like being iffy about it, and so finally, somehow, everyone complied, except for 2 people took an Uber back, but I had everyone else come with me, and we went to the Claremont, and it was amazing. I mean, I'm not like, I was kind of nervous about going to a strip club just because I didn't know how I would react to just like seeing a bunch of naked women dancing on people, but it was like there weren't actually that many dancers. It was just kind of like a few, and I guess it was like we came later in the night, and a lot of people were like, a lot of just normal humans were dancing. Like, there was like a stage, and like there was like a bunch of people dancing to like jump on it, and I don't know, I like made some friends, and it was just a very interesting time. And so after that, we like took an Uber back and went to sleep, and then the next day we just kind of were lazy and like went to brunch, and then I flew back home. And so here I am. It's Tuesday morning, and I have to go to school in a little bit, so I just thought I would make this video, and it's already really, really long, and Chipotle just texted me and told me I have a free burrito. What a great day, and I hope that you have a great day too. And I'm sorry if you watched all of this. This is so long, so bless you, and I will see you later.